You may be aware that Mahendra Singh Dhoni was the fifth choice of the Indian Cricket Board. They first tried out Deep Dasgupta, then Ajay Ratra, then Parthiv Patel, and then Dinesh Karthik. None of these fellows could succeed and cement his place in the side. And Dhoni was the fifth choice. But the moment Dhoni got his break in the Indian team in 2004-05, he utilized it fully and became a regular member of the team and a captain within 2 years. And he is poised to become one of the all-time greats of Indian cricket. It is important to remember that opportunity seldom knocks twice. More than 2000 years ago, the Tamil sage Thiruvalluvar stated, "Occasion comes but rarely. When it comes, seize it promptly if you are intent on a great aim." William Shakespeare makes the same point through Brutus in his play Julius Caesar. There is a tide in the affairs of men which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and in miseries. Whenever a new general was introduced to Napoleon Bonaparte, Napoleon used to say, "Okay, he may be a very competent general, but tell me, is he lucky?" I want all of you to read a recently published book called Outliers, O-U-T-L-I-E-R-S, Outliers, by Malcolm Gladwell. In it, he describes how even people who we think succeeded due to pure talent, like Bill Gates of Microsoft or the rock group Beatles, actually owe their success to luck. Bill Gates may be smart, but Gladwell says that Bill Gates' parents were very lucky, they were very wealthy. They sent him to a school in Seattle, which even in the 1960s had computers. I saw my first computer in 1980. Gates and Paul Allen, in those days very few people knew computers, so Gates and his partner Paul Allen had a computer room all to themselves, and they kept on learning. He was also lucky in the sense that Northwestern University of USA was close to his house, and he and Paul Allen found out that between 12 midnight and 5 a.m. the university's computer resources were idle, and he and Paul Allen put out the computer guys and said, "எங்களை கொஞ்சம் விடுங்க, நாங்கள் நைட்டு 5 மணி நேரம் அங்கே ஒர்க் பண்ணுறோம்" அப்படின்னு சொல்லி both of them developed their computer skills. So when Bill Gates dropped out of Harvard after first year, he was not doing a foolish thing, because he had acquired more knowledge of computing and programming than anybody else in the world at that point of time. And he felt that if he didn't do it then, he would not succeed. But you must remember that access to the school computer and access to the computers in the Northwestern University played a major role, and both these were luck factors. Now when you think of the rock band Beatles, who were such a sensation in the 1960s and 70s, we think here is pure talent. They were talented, no doubt, but they were also lucky. The Beatles were playing like a small-time band in Liverpool, and somebody in Hamburg, Germany, came scouting in England for a rock group which will perform all night in Hamburg's nightclubs. And most of the respectable rock groups in England said, "Hamburgla yaar vandu night full yaar pannana engala mudiyadhu appadina." But the Beatles said, "Okay, naanga varom" appadinaanga. So for 2 years they played in different clubs in Hamburg. They really honed their skills, and when they came out with their first album in 1962, they were no longer work in progress, they were a finished product, and they were a big hit. So remember, in life, not only hard work, not only talent, but luck also plays a major role. My second key lesson is this: while we should acknowledge the role of luck in our lives, we should not, however, become fatalistic in our outlook. A number of people, especially in India, think that everything in their life is already predetermined and they can do nothing is to change it. எல்லாமே நம்ம தலைவிதி, எல்லாமே பிரம்மர் நம்ம தலையில எழுதிட்டார், ஒன்றும் பண்ண முடியாது அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு மூட நம்பிக்கை. This is the result of the widely believed karma theory in this country. A fatalistic attitude prevents people from accepting responsibility for their position in life. It's a sure recipe for failure because these people embark on a project without confidence, enthusiasm, or determination. They wait for things to happen instead of making them happen. They become superstitious and ritualistic and fall easy prey to fortune tellers, con men, and the self-proclaimed godmen. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru said it very well. He said, life is like a game of cards. The hand that is dealt to you represents determinism. The way you play it is free will. Cards ஆடினா நமக்குலாம் தெரியும். நல்ல கார்டு வரலாம், சாதாரண கார்டு வரலாம், மோசமான கார்டு வரலாம். பட் சாதாரண கார்டு வந்தனால நம்ம தோப்பு வந்தது இல்லை. சில பேர் சாதாரண கார்டு வச்சு ரொம்ப கிளவரா ஆடி ஜெயிப்பாங்க. அந்த மாதிரி life is like that. You may not have got all the talents, but you still can win. There are a lot of examples all over. You will see very ordinary people succeeding in life because they have played their cards well. If you are born into at least a lower middle class family with no disabilities and are reasonably good looking, then you should consider yourself lucky. You have been dealt a reasonably good hand by nature. Your success or failure in life depends upon how well you play your cards thereafter. ஒரு கிராமத்தில் ஒரு பெரிய வெள்ளம் வந்தது, எல்லாரும் அந்த ஊரை விட்டு ஓடி போயிட்டாங்க. அந்த ஒரு ஆள் மட்டும் இந்த கடவுளை என்னை காப்பாற்றுறேன்னு எனக்கு நம்பிக்கை இருக்கு, நான் வரமாட்டேன் அப்படின்னு. தண்ணி வீட்டுக்குள்ளே வந்தது, அப்போ ஒரு ஆள் ஜீப்பில் வந்து சீக்கிரம் ஏறிக்கோ அப்படின்னு. இல்லை இவன் கடவுளை என்னை காப்பாற்றுறேன், நான் வரமாட்டேன் அப்படின்னு. தண்ணி லெவல் ரைஸ் ஆச்சு, இவன் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஃப்ளோருக்கு போகிறான். அப்போ ஒரு ஆள் போட்டில் வந்து வாங்க சீக்கிரம் வாங்க, இல்லாட்டி சாக போகிறீங்க அப்படின்னாங்க. இவன் இல்லை கடவுள் காப்பாற்றுறேன், நீங்கள் போயிட்டு வாங்க அப்படின்னா. இப்போ தண்ணி இன்னும் மேலே வந்தது. This fellow moved onto the terrace. Somebody came in a helicopter and said, please jump out to the helicopter at least now, we will save you. இவன் இல்லை கடவுள் என்னை காப்பாற்றுறேன், நீங்கள் போயிட்டாங்க அப்படின்னா. Then the fellow dies and then he goes and meets God and tells him angrily, என்னங்க நான் உங்கள் மேலே இவ்வளோ நம்பிக்கை வச்சுட்டு இருந்தேன், நீங்கள் என்ன இப்படி கல்தா பண்ணிட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா. And God said, முட்டாள், உனக்கு அந்த ஜீப்பு போட்டு ஹெலிகாப்டர் யார் அனுப்பிச்சதுன்னு நினச்சேன், நான் உனக்கு உன்னை காப்பாற்றுறேன்னு முயற்சி பண்ண நீங்கள் வரவே மாட்டேன்னு நான் என்ன பண்ணுறது அப்படின்னு. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி we should never be fatalistic or foolish. Now for my third key lesson, while you must try to become a winner, you must also learn to cope with failures and handle pressure. In fact, Mr. MP Vijay Kumar alluded to this point briefly. In other words, you must cultivate mental toughness. Remember John F. Kennedy's famous words, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Life is never a smooth ride. Failures and setbacks are a part and parcel of life. There are many people who go to pieces in pressure situations and take defeats and failures badly. Every year during this examination season, we read the sad stories of students who commit suicide, unable to bear the pressure of expectations from their parents and peers. There are people who perform way below their ability in examinations or sporting events or cultural events because they tend to choke under pressure. The present South African cricket team is a typical example. By all accounts, they were the best team in the tournament, but they choked and lost to a stupid team like New Zealand. There are people who go to pieces, who even become insane on the death of a dearly loved child or pressure situations. My fourth key lesson, again a point alluded to briefly both by your chairman and Mr. MP Vijay Kumar, is that you should develop the habit of creative thinking or original thinking. It's also sometimes called as lateral thinking, thinking outside the box and whatnot. What the world wants are originals. Nobody likes duplicates or copycats. Why do people rave about Rajinikanth or Shah Rukh Khan or A.R. Rahman? Because they are original. There is something distinctive about them, something unique about them. Whatever may be the vocation that you take up, always try to do something original, something different. When I say different, I mean different in a positive manner. Different. When we go for a new movie or to a new restaurant in town or a new shopping mall, we are disappointed if they are run of the mill and do not have anything to distinguish themselves from the rest. The same holds good for you when you go for a job interview or a promotion interview or when you approach a bank for a loan to start a new project. You will be judged by how original or different that you are from the rest of the crowd. You have a good example of a creative person in your chairman. I happen to see his various factories today, and I find that he's constantly improving himself, constantly updating the technology, constantly trying to do new things. He's the very personification of creativity or original thinking. Another example, famous example that you know, is Steve Jobs, founder of Apple Incorporated. Jobs, as you all know, was very poor. He was a college dropout. He used to eat in a Gurdwara's langar. Osi சாப்பாடு போடுற Sikh Gurdwara. அதெல்லாம் சாப்பிட்டு ஒரு படிச்சு college போயிட்டு. But Jobs was brilliant, and he has given the world some of the most creative products, such as the first user-friendly graphical interface in the Windows objects. The first mouse, the iMac, the iPod, the iPhone, and the iPad. Jobs should be a role model. A Japanese company making shampoos used to find that 1 in 10,000 times or 1 in a lakh times, some of the plastic bottles were empty, and customers are empty plastic shampoo bottle with it. So the Japanese, being very sincere people, they said, we must overcome this problem. There was a brainstorming session among the managers. One manager said, over bottle நம்ம வே பண்ணுவோம் அப்படினு. They said இதெல்லாம் நம்ம இவ்வளவு large scale manufacture பண்றோம், வே பண்றதெல்லாம் முடியாது. Somebody else said let us do an X-ray. Somebody else said let us do infrared. இதெல்லாம் முடியாது. The problem is too small. These will be too costly. Then one frontline worker, he gave a suggestion. He said, இதை சிம்பிளாக பண்ணிடுறாங்க, அந்த கன்வேயர் பெல்ட்டில் இந்த ஷாம்பு fill up the bottles அப்படி போயிட்டு இருக்கப்போ பக்கத்தில் ஒரு ஃபேன் அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணுங்க. Set the fan speed in such a way that empty bottle இருந்தால் பறந்து போயிடும், ஆனால் filled up bottle இருந்தால் அப்படியே இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. Then everybody said, yes, this is the correct solution to this problem. So this is an example of creative thinking. Now, as you all know, the wheel was invented more than 5,000 years ago. But for some strange reason, nobody thought of putting wheels under suitcases till about 20 years ago. நம்ம எல்லாம் கஷ்டப்பட்டு கையில் தூக்கிட்டு இருந்தோம். Now everybody carries suitcases. Today we have trolleys, big and small, and you drag a suitcase on wheels. It's a small improvement, but it's a tremendous improvement. This is another example of creativity. Why I am saying this is, creativity and nature, scientist, somebody in a white coat in a lab, or A.R. Rahman or Ilayaraja Mari, music director, like artist, like comedian. Creativity is not like that only. You can be creative in whatever you take up. Unfortunately, our education system lays too much emphasis on rote learning by memory, which is a low-level skill. Even parrots can do it. And too little emphasis on original or creative thinking, which is a higher-level skill. The person who reproduces the answers from his textbook verbatim gets full marks. The one who writes in his own words or writes something original gets a cut in marks. Let me tell you a personal example that I had in the University of Birmingham. நம்ம ஊரில் யூனிவர்சிட்டி கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர் புக்கில் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் இருக்கும். அந்த கொஸ்டினுக்கு ஆன்சர் எங்கேன்னு நம்மளே மார்க் பண்ணி வச்சுருப்போம். இந்த பேராலேருந்து இந்த இது வரைக்கும் இந்த ஆன்சர் கொஸ்டின் நம்பர் 1, கொஸ்டின் நம்பர் 2க்கு இங்கேருந்து இது இப்படி படிச்சுட்டு தான் நமக்கு எல்லாம் பழக்கம். அங்கே MBA பண்ணுறப்போ there was a marketing professor who was very good. About 15 days before the exam, he gave us a question paper. He said, question paper நான் உங்களுக்கு அட்வான்ஸாக கொடுக்குறேன், 12 கொஸ்டின்ஸ் கொடுக்குறேன், 2 தான் நீங்கள் ஆன்சர் பண்ணால் போதும், 3 மணி நேரம் ஒவ்வொரு கொஸ்டின் 50 மார்க், 1.5 மணி நேரம் எழுதணும் அப்படின்னு. நான் சரி ரொம்ப ஈஸி, மார்க்கெட்டிங் கவலையே இல்லை, ரொம்ப ஈஸியாக கொடுத்துட்டாரு அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ரீட் த கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர் ப்ராப்பர்லி அப்படியே வச்சேன்.